Hi everyone. Today we are going to officially begin topic 13. Yesterday we talked about the tools that mathematicians and scientists use for measurement. Today we're actually going to start working through our math books and putting some of these units of measurement to work. So in your math book, find page 671. That's the start of topic 13. Okay, we're going to flip through the first couple pages together. So on the back of the introduction page, you're going to see a review page. You're always welcome to check this out. This is review from third grade. I do want to point out to you that there is a lot of new vocabulary in this topic. So as you flip through your math book, you're going to find the purple vocabulary pages. And I want you to notice there's 1 and the back, 2 and the back, 3 and the back. So notice there are almost 3 full pages of vocabulary words. So that means this math topic has a lot of new words that you are going to have to sort and keep organized in your head. That is a big reason why we're going to be going slow and spending at least 2 days on every single lesson. You are, as a 4th grader, expected to know all of these vocabulary words. So we're going to go slow and take our time so that way these words are all still in your mind. Okay, so we're going to skip the warm-up since we're not at school, okay? And there's something that I need you to understand before we get to our math book page. In this topic, we're going to be studying 2 different systems of measurement. There is the customary system and the metric system. So what are some of the differences? Well, the customary system, as you can see, is what we use here in the United States. The metric system is used pretty much every other country in the world. Okay, so we as United States citizens need to be familiar with both, though the customary system is the one that we use the most often. Okay, in the 2 measurement systems, the way that they use numbers can be a little bit different. In the customary system, there's varying sets of numbers. In the metric system, everything works on multiples of 10. When we get to metric, you're going to like this multiples of 10 feature. The third difference is that the words that are used in both of these systems can be very different. In customary, the words for the different units tend to be different. So when we say a unit of measurement, we're talking about inches or feet or yards. The way that something is being measured, those words that you would use to describe it, that is the unit. Okay, so in customary measurement, the words are all very different. Inches, feet, yards, all very different. In metric, the unit words are all very similar. Centimeter, decimeter, millimeter. Notice how they all kind of sound similar. So that's another big difference between these 2 units of measurement. We're going to be focused on customary measurements first. So these are the measurements that we use most commonly in the United States. And today we're focusing on the customary measurements for length. So there's 4 new vocabulary words that you need to know. I know they're not really new, but anyway, you need to know them. You need to know inch, foot, yard, and mile. These are the 4 units of measurement that we're going to be working with today. They're written in this order for a reason. Inch being the smallest, mile being the largest, and foot and yard being somewhat in between. So let's take a look at the math pages for this lesson. So focusing on our solve and share, what we're going to be doing is what's called converting units from one unit to another. As you see how this works, that will start to make more sense. So here's our solve and share situation. Jeremy jogged 75 yards from his house to school. How many feet did Jeremy jog? So first thing I want you to notice is we're given his measurement for the distance he jogged in yards. And we're being asked to figure out what that is in feet. Guys, that's called converting or a conversion. When you're changing from one unit of measurement to another, that's a conversion. So we're being asked to figure out 75 yards. What does that equal in feet? So here's how we do this. On the visual learning page, there is a chart. It's right here that you are going to use for almost every single problem that you are doing. Okay. In this chart, we are being asked to convert from yards to feet. So we're going to look at this chart and we're going to find the yards and the feet part. And what this chart is telling you that for every 1 yard, that's equal to 3 feet. 1 yard equals 3 feet. So if we come back and look at our solventer situation, we have 75 yards. So that means the first yard is 3 feet. The second yard is 3 feet. The third yard is 3 feet. The fourth yard is 3 feet. The fifth yard is 3 feet. The sixth yard is 3 feet. You get the point. It would take us forever to count by 3. So we're going to be using multiplication. We have 75 yards. There's 3 feet in each yard. So to find out how many feet are in all 75 yards, we can multiply. And yes, you are allowed to use a calculator. So we multiply. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 7 is 21, plus the 1 at the top. That's 22. So that gives us a product of 225. Here's what that means. 75 yards is equal to 225 feet. So notice the steps that we used. We looked at the units. We looked at the conversion chart on the visual learning page. We used those numbers to help us come up with a multiplication equation, and we solved. So let's take a look now at the guided practice section. And remember, guys, anytime you get confused, you can always pause this video, rewind the video, watch it again if you need to. Okay, so question 1. Does it take more inches or feet to equal a given length? So here's what I want you to think about. You're going to measure your leg. Just pretend you're going to measure your leg. If you measure your leg in inches, and then you measure your leg again in feet, which unit is going to take more? Which unit are you going to have more of? Is it going to take more inches to measure your leg? Or is it going to take more feet to measure your leg? The answer is inches. Inches are smaller. So something you're going to have to remember. The smaller the unit of measurement, the more it's going to take to measure something. Okay, because inches are really small, it's going to take a lot more inches to measure the length of your leg than it would feet. Okay, question 2. Which is a greater distance, 9 yards or 9 miles? Well, we know miles are much bigger than yards. Yards are about the length of your arms. If you put both arms out and you kind of look across your arms, that's about the size of a yard. So picture 9 of those. Now picture 9 miles. You guys have all run quarter miles in gym. That's only part of a mile. So imagine doing that over and 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 over. When you picture these, 9 miles is a much greater distance. Okay, so let's jump over to number 3. Now we're being asked to convert each unit. So this is where we're going to go back to that chart on our visual learning. So here's how you're going to do this. First, look at the situation. We have 2 miles. We're being asked to turn miles into yards. Okay, so go back to your visual learning page. Look at the chart. Find miles and find yards. Whoa. 1 mile has 1,760 yards. That's crazy. 1,760. All right, I'm going to come over here on my page. I need to write down that 1,760. 1,760. Okay, so that means 1 mile is 1,760 yards, but I have 2 miles. So I need to multiply by 2 to figure out how many yards are in 2 miles. Again, you can use a calculator. Okay, so 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 7 is 14, plus 1 is 15. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. Wow. 2 miles is equal to 3,520 yards. That's a lot. Notice we went from a bigger unit of measurement to a smaller unit of measurement, so our number went up. All right, number 4. Now, don't be intimidated by the fact that this has a fraction in it. Don't let that scare you. You can handle this. Okay, so we're going from yards to feet. Okay, go back to the chart. Remember, 1 yard has 3 feet. Okay, so here's how you're going to do this if it has a fraction. Think about it this way. Break it apart. Do your whole number and your fraction separately. Okay, so 4 yards, there's 3 feet in each yard. So 4 times 3, that's 12. Okay, so 4 yards, 3 feet in 3 feet in each yard. That gives us 12 feet so far. Now, think about this, guys. You have a fraction here. There's 2 ways that you can think about this. You can multiply that fraction times 3, or there's actually a better way to think about this, okay? If we know there's 3 feet in a yard, and we have 2 out of the 3, guess what? That means we have 2 feet, okay? So 12 feet plus 2 more, that means there's 14 feet. Now, I know sometimes these fraction ones can be a little bit confusing. Just take your time with them, and remember, if you need help, write a comment in the math assignment, and I am more than happy to help you. So, as you continue with this work, here's what we're going to ask you to work on today. Down in the independent practice, we want you to convert the units at numbers 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Okay, you will see some that have fractions, but it's okay. I think you can figure them out. And if you need help, just reach out and let your teachers know. On the next side, we also want you to try numbers 19 and numbers 20. Okay, so play around with these. Use the conversion chart that is on the visual learning page. This is going to be super duper helpful. And remember, you're allowed to use a calculator anytime you want to do the computation. Okay, if you need help, let us know. Good luck. You got this.